Sorry, please hold. Sorry.
Swiftcover.com. Car insurance without call centres.
Here in Monaco, it's victory for the first time for the world champion Fernando Alonso. Maybe a very big victory in terms of the destiny of this year's Formula One World Championship. Although Michael Schumacher managed fourth, Kimi Raikkonen crucially failed to finish. So it was Alonso from Juan Pablo Montoya, then David Coulthard with a first podium finish for Red Bull, Rubens Barrichello keeping his Honda in front of Michael Schumacher, Giancarlo Fisichella, Nick Heidfeld and Ralf Schumacher completing the point scorers. But a good day for Alonso in the World Drivers' Championship. He stretches his lead to some 21 points ahead of Michael Schumacher, Giancarlo Fisichella and Kimi Raikkonen now together on 27 points. An incident-packed Monaco Grand Prix, and I suppose, Mark Blundell, in some ways it was inevitable after the events of the last 24 hours that somehow Michael Schumacher would play a starring role.
He did indeed. I mean, he came from the pit lane from dead last and he got up there. You know, just wonder why he had to do what he did yesterday, and the outcome of today's race could have been so much different, because at the end of that Grand Prix he was the fastest man on the circuit by a long, long way. It
seemed that Michael Schumacher handed victory almost to Fernando Alonso with his behaviour during the climax of qualifying yesterday. It was far from that, but Alonso really controlled this, didn't he?
He controlled it all the way through, and we've seen that so many times with Fernando Alonso. He's a superb driver. He absorbs pressure. He doesn't get phased out by anybody or anything. Halfway through the Grand Prix distance, it looked like he had a little bit of problem there with tyre progress, but he just kept on top of it. They didn't put a foot wrong, and the team, Renault, just outstanding. Reliability, no problems whatsoever.
Did he have problems, or was he just emphasising his control at that point?
You know, I think he actually just throttled back and just didn't want to put any more pressure through the car. I don't think he had anything going on there which was phasing him out.
Got to get the start right, and Alonso judged it to perfection, didn't he?
Well, the start normally here you can have fireworks, but this is very clean away from the front row of the grid. The two people who got in trouble, though, the two Midland cars, Albers and Montero. Albers a little bit naughty here. He cuts across his teammate and then keeps squeezing him and sticks him into the wall. Bit of an issue for him there. Lucky to get away with it, and I think these guys will be having a few words afterwards. But a clean start for everybody concerned.
But Alonso was away, and Mark Webber, who started alongside him on the front row, defending his position well, then made that mistake into Saint-Devote.
Unfortunate for Mark Webber. I mean, he was driving superbly. He just went a little bit wide just on the exit of Saint-Devote, and Kimi Raikkonen just got the run on him. And this is not just outright power. This is just the fact that the mistake's been made by Webber. But a brave still move by Raikkonen to put himself in that position. Still a big one.
And immediately we started saying, well, you can overtake here in Monaco. Kimi was sensational once again today, wasn't he? Deserved more.
He deserved a lot more. And I think McLaren also deserves something out of this from both their drivers. But Kimi, I think, is going to be hugely disappointed. So close, but also so far away. Reliability, still a big cloud over his head.
But the biggest disappointment was on behalf of Mark Webber, who seemed to have the right ingredients potentially for victory here, even during the course of the race.
You know, the Williams has looked strong all weekend. Mark Webber, definitely a great situation for him to be on the front row, and he tried to maximise it, driving a great race, but unfortunately just reliability's just got the better of him, and you see he just cruises into the inside of Saint-Devote here, puts it up the pit lane exit, car catches on fire, but the frustration here is very evident, as you'll see with Mark. He can't believe his bad luck at this moment in time.
And in a way, it was very reminiscent of what happened in the Australian Grand Prix. He took the lead in the race and then was out within the space of about a lap.
Yeah, and you know, again here you've got Kimi Raikkonen, and Martin explained during the commentary, they just got a little bit too much heat going through the engine there, and the consequences are a car on fire and out the race.
As regards Webber, that retirement came after he was getting very frustrated behind Giancarlo Fisichella. Was that an element at all?
Well, I think there was a little bit there, but I think Webber actually was very racy today, but Fisichella was racy as well. He done a couple of moves on people which were pretty hot. DC there just getting, actually just looking in his mirrors to make sure he doesn't collect with Fisichella, because that was a big move by Fisichella, and he was, for me, a little bit out of control. Locked up, very good of DC to make sure there was enough space. Here he pulls another move on Villeneuve down the inside. It's a textbook move going into the chicane. Obviously the guys at the garage like it, but you'd like to see a lot more of that from Fizzy in the next few Grand Prix.
Just a little bit surprising he didn't figure a little higher up among the finishers, but I think we can hear from Giancarlo Fisichella right now.
Yeah, tell me about that move on DC.
Oh, it was on the limit, of course.
I think there's a lot of inconsistency, but
with the tires, but there was only chance to overtake him. And then again traffic, but the car was good anyway.
Thanks, Giancarlo.
As regards the three guys who finished on the podium, we'll get all the opinions from within the press conference in just a couple of minutes' time.
I'm sorry, our operating times are... I'm sorry, our operating times are...
Swiftcover.com, car insurance without call centres.
And winning the Monaco Grand Prix for the first time for Miles 7 Renault, Fernando Alonso. Fernando, congratulations. No doubt an emotional day for you, waking up to find yourself on the pole. Of course, a clean sweep for Michelin on a sad day for Michelin, and your first win here.
Yeah, I think first of all, dedicate the victory to Edward Michelin. That on Friday we had the sad news coming, and I think Michelin did a great job in the last 2 or 3 years in Formula One, and especially this year, and again this race, to give us the possibility to win and to beat our opponents. And I think this victory is thanks to Michelin, all 3 drivers in the podium Michelin tires. So thanks to them, and dedicate to them to all of the work. And yeah, it's true that the race was quite emotional, and for sure starting from pole position the things becomes a little bit easier. Kimi put some pressure in the race. I was controlling a little bit the tires for the right moment to push, because it's impossible to overtake, so I slowed down a little bit. But yeah, it was not an easy race. Monaco always, you have to keep the concentration, don't touch any barrier in 78 laps, push to the limits, and we managed to win this race. It was one of the races that I was with a cross in the calendar, and you know, thanks to all of the team, and again Michelin, I think we did it.
And that control particularly evident in the second stint there, when you were doing 18s for a while and then suddenly down into the 1 minute 16s.
Yeah, we at the last part of the first stint with all tires, with 25 lap in the tires, I felt quite oversteering and not much traction in the tires. So second stint was planned to be quite long. So I knew that the time to push was when Kimi was made in the second stop. So I tried to save the tires to give them an easy life, the first 10 or 15 laps, and then push. And we had the safety car, so it was not time to push. But you know, I think thanks to the characteristics of the Monaco circuit, you can control a little bit more the race.
Congratulations to you, Fernando. Juan Pablo, congratulations to you too, your second podium finish of the year. In that beginning of that second stint, you were right with them again, very tight at the front.
Yeah, at the beginning, when I first part of the race, my car went a little bit too oversteer, and I lost a bit of, made a couple of mistakes, and I lost a bit, track. And in the second stint, as Fernando backed off the pace, my car was handling pretty good, so, caught up with them. And then it's very hard because you start getting into traffic, but, here, you normally go to a track where traffic is 1 car. Here, traffic is 4 or 5 cars, so by the time you start passing the first one, they already passed the 5th one, so, and they just pull away into the distance, so it makes it really hard. So it's very hard to keep up. And I had a couple of cars actually. It's tough because they put blue flags, the car moves, and the next one that is meant to be lapped as well takes advantage of it. And so I had one car actually throw the car at me 2 or 3 times and nearly hit me. And I thought, what's going on? So
a lot of work at McLaren Mercedes recently. Great to see that work come through in this result.
Yeah, I think last few races were tough races, especially for me, and we did quite a few changes in the car, and we are heading in the right direction. I think we had good pace today. But, the most important thing is if we can translate this pace into the next few races. That's going to be the key.
Well done, Juan Pablo. And in third place, after a break of 2.5 years, David Coulthard returns. Congratulations, David. A great drive on a one-stop strategy, very heavy fuel load in the second phase of the race.
Yeah, absolutely. So that made it quite difficult to push at the end because the tyres were worn out. But obviously delighted for myself to be back here. It's been a long time. Delighted for the team. And obviously echoing Fernando's words, as a mark of respect, we weren't spraying the champagne for Mr. Michelin. But moving on from that, we have to take today for the team was a very important day for Red Bull Racing and for all the hard work of those that have been involved. And hopefully this can give us a boost for the coming races.
Yes, let's add our congratulations to David Coulthard with the help of the Red Bull team boss, Christian Horner. Christian, well done. And what exactly does this mean to the team?
It means a fantastic amount. I mean, the whole team, everyone here, everyone in Milton Keynes has been working extremely hard. And I think it's, just reward for a lot of effort that's gone in. And David drove a great race today. It was an excellent call to switch from a 2-stop to a 1-stop. And, we saw the benefit and the result from that. So
I think Christian was also unlucky. He should have been scoring good points today, but just a great result for the team and excellent first podium for Red Bull.
It's a team that knows how to enjoy itself in Formula One. It hasn't had many opportunities to celebrate so far, so the celebrations are going to be quite enthusiastic, aren't they?
Absolutely. I mean, everybody in the team has worked tremendously hard, and when you're not getting the results, frustration creeps in, and heads drop a bit. But everybody's focused, everybody's pulled together, and we're used to having parties, and I'm sure there'll be a big one tonight.
Are you, we understand, are going to jump in the pool naked, is that correct? Or is David going to lend you the cape just to save some embarrassment?
I stupidly made a throwaway comment the other day that I would jump into the swimming pool, and it seems to have grown into a naked swimming pool, or me being naked, I should say. So we'll see. I'm sure maybe a bit later on that I may end up in there.
Where does the team go from here? There was a certain feeling that people were starting to get a little bit impatient, that it was about time you were starting to deliver. How do you progress from this point?
Well, this is a stepping stone for us. We've got developments that everybody's working hard on in the team, and we'll see RB2 move forward. We've got a great team. We've got some great individuals, and it's starting to work really well as a group now as well. And we'll see more developments throughout this year. And I think that this will hopefully not be the last podium this season for Red Bull Racing.
So well done, Red Bull, and well done, David Coulthard. Jenson Button, by contrast, not such a good day for Jenson. Not such a good weekend either.
Jenson, one of your more frustrating days at work?
Yeah, you could say that. I mean, it was all messed up yesterday, really, but from where I was with the car I had, it was just impossible in the first inning to do anything. Rubens was struggling with the same problem, I think. It just lost the rear tyres completely. I had to stop a lot earlier than I wanted to because I lost like 3 seconds with the tyres almost being bald. Obviously, weren't completely bald, but that was frustrating. And then put new tyres on, took loads of front wing off, and the car was all right. I was just doing the same pace as DC and Michael, so. Yeah.
But by then it's too late, isn't it? You're so far down the field, there's nothing you can do.
Exactly, especially when you've been lapped already, you're a bit screwed then. But anyway, I'll try and forget this one, and we need to look at the reasons why the car wasn't there. But it's good for the team that Rubens was able to get fourth with a very tough car, but he was in a good position yesterday, so it helped him a lot. But
it's going to be a lot of...
He's always looking for the positives, Jenson Button. What sort of positives do you and David Coulthard now take to Silverstone?
Well, David's been quick here all weekend. I mean, he was only a 10th off the quickest low fuel time in qualifying. Silverstone's a massive event for us, with so many, it's a home crowd for the whole team. And, we've got updates coming, and we'll be pushing as hard as we can to repeat the result.
Good, well done today, and congratulations to you. Off you go to the pool. It's just down there, but send our congratulations to David Coulthard as well.
Thank you very much.
Mark, thank you very much for your help today. Let's just remind you of our Silverstone British Grand Prix competition. You can enter that via the website, and the prize is that new Honda car, and itvf1.com for all the information of the chance to enter. Well, sport coming up. Well, the motorsport continues immediately with World Superbikes from Silverstone, live from Silverstone. Grand Prix highlights at 11:45. That'll be followed by action from the football playoffs. And next Saturday, more from this Monaco weekend, and enjoy another tremendous winning GP2 performance by Britain's Lewis Hamilton. British Superbikes and the British Touring Car Championship fill Sunday afternoon with the World Rally from Greece on ITV4 at 6 o'clock, then ITV1 at 11:45. And of course, the next live Formula One, the British Grand Prix from Silverstone in 2 weeks' time. It's early on the calendar, and it's early on the day as well. So it's 12 noon for qualifying on Saturday, and if you're there, you can watch all the World Cup action after that on the big screens. 11 a.m. for the race on Sunday, by which time the World Cup will be well underway on ITV. Huge afternoon at the British Grand Prix. Well, you do get the feeling here that it's all starting to fall right for Fernando Alonso on a weekend in which the reputation of Michael Schumacher took a huge dent. Fernando Alonso adds Monaco to his immaculate CV. Bye for now.
is closed at the moment. What? The pits are open 9 to 5, Monday to Friday.
Swiftcover.com. Car insurance without call centres.
For the latest news from the pit lane, visit itv.com/F1, sponsored by swiftcover.com.